guys, Goldin here. Welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. So, if you've been playing the ladder at day 1 into day 2, I'm sure you've run up against a lot of mono black. So, it's very popular right now. And I would be remiss if I didn't try it out myself. So, we're doing mono black today. Grey Merchant of Asphodel is the card that everybody's raving about with this mono black list, and it feels broken when you get up there and you drop Gary here. This poor man carrying all of his money on his back. It just swings the game. So you gain life. You usually have so much devotion by the time you get there that you're dealing 7 to 10 points of damage, and it just is insane. I've ran against a lot of the mirrors, so to do that, this build is a little bit more mid-rangey. It has a lot of rankles, has Spawn of Mayhem and Rankle and Gary, so there's a lot in that like 4 to 5 mana slot. 4 Underworld Dreams that's there to kind of enhance your matchup against control. And specifically blue-green, which you'll see here in the following videos. When you get this down, their Krasis, it just nullifies their Krasis completely. If you get 2 of them down, their Krasis actually can kill them. So this card is, at first glance, is like, okay, you're wasting 3 mana turn just for them to do 1 damage for every draw. But you can combo this with Rankle. When you make them draw a card, they lose 2 life, and it has a lot of good uses there. So. This is the list. So this is the main board. We have the normal stuff. I went with a little bit more aggro focus with Gutter Bones. Yarok's Fenlurker is really strong, double black, so it feeds into that devotion cost for Gary. Iara, triple black, Murderous Riders, all 4 copies of Murderous Riders. I didn't put the 4 mana kill spell, that devotion kill spell that came out in the new set. I think having the body on Murderous Rider is just more value, even though the other spell kill is a better kill spell, because you're usually casting it for 2 mana. I still think Murderous Rider, because you can get the body on the board, is a better card to have. Has a little bit more flexibility for sure. And then Rankle, Spawn of Mayhem, and Gary. So the main board's pretty straightforward. The only card I'm not 100% sold on is Omen of the Dead. I played around with it in the sideboard more. I played around with it in the main board. For game 1, it is kind of nice to have that extra 1 mana devotion that you can drop, and to have early plays here. I think you could easily substitute this for another 1-drop. You could start putting cats and ovens in there if you love putting cats and ovens. Personally, I don't like playing that way. I think it's boring. But to each his own. I've just seen so much of it that I decided not to build around that. Although it is very strong, and if you are doing that, I think putting the 4 mana flying card that whenever you sacrifice or whenever another creature dies, you bring it back a token is a good way to play the deck as well, and it looks like a lot of fun. For my sideboard, I have a little bit of everything. Duresses, Epic Downfalls, Noxious Grasps, the normal. I have 4 copies of Legion's End for those cat decks. This just crushes the mirror if they're running the cat oven combo. You hit their cat with this, they have, even if they have another cat in hand, it gets rid of it, and it's super strong against a lot of the other cards in the deck as well. So this is something I bring in against in the mirror almost every single time. Pretty much 100% every single time, even if they're not running the cat. We have Deathless Knight for those control matchups. Whenever you gain life, it comes back. So it's good recurring threat. It has haste, so you can a lot of times push that last damage at the end. Bontu, again, for the same thing. Sir Conrad is also good in the mirror. It's a good body, and whenever they are sacrificing their creatures, whether it be to Iara or to the oven, you get damage out of that as well. So very, very strong. So this is the deck. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos, and see you tomorrow. Only 2 lands and a lot of top end, so I can't keep this. Okay, that's better. Get rid of Rankle. We have a lot of top end, so we're probably going to draw into our more expensive cards. Generally, I've had the issue of getting stuck on like 3 or 4 lands when I need 5 for Gary, so I don't really like this card. So we're playing in the mirror. Timoret, I haven't really been very impressed with it. So we hit his hand. Okay, the Fen Lurker. I'm going to drop a land here. Attack with the Knight. Leave the mana open to pump it if necessary. Okay, so he's just gonna do that. I'm gonna end. We're gonna wait and see what he drops to see what to Murderous Rider. So IR, that's a better target for Murderous Rider for sure. So now we're gonna be on 4. Okay. Again, we're gonna attack with Knight. I would imagine he's gonna let this one through. And put down the Spawn. Spawn of Mayhem is huge in the mirror. It stops Rankle. A lot of them aren't running Spawn. A lot of black decks. So see, and that can't block. So I have a ton of aggression on him right now. I'm gonna attack with these 2. See if he chooses to try to block the Knight. I'm just gonna pump it, and we're just doing a ton of damage here. And he has to deal with both of these threats. I'm gonna do Underworld Dreams. Gets a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, maybe I should have attacked first. That was a mistake. But I still grow this. It leaves it back so I have a good blocker now. So Gary wins me the game, obviously. So Gary, any of my top end's good. Actually, really anything, yeah, because we can combo this. I don't really want to attack with the Knight because he can chump it with Timoret, or he can double block, and I don't really want to. Okay, so he got his own Gary, unfortunately, and that pretty much wins the game. So any black creature wins for him right now. Come on, Gary. Where are you at when I need you? Come on, Gary. Okay, let's see. If I attack, so that's 5 through the air, he might have Murderous Rider. He can block out 3 of these. I'm getting through for 7. And then going to attack first and see. I really don't have a great way to do this, because if I attack, so if he has a Murderous Rider, I lose if I attack all. I could use IR to draw and hope I get Gary. That's really, because otherwise I lose anyways. We're going for it. Okay, down to 1. Gutter Bones. Yes, perfect. Okay, so he didn't have the Murderous Rider. Alright, so Legion's End comes in. He's not running the cat, but so this might not be as good. So actually, I'm taking a couple of these out, but Sir Conrad goes in at the top end. We're pretty good in the mirror, honestly. Maybe 1 Rankle. Take out the Omens. Put in a few Legion's Ends. That looks good. Against mono black decks running the cat in the oven, Legion's End just wrecks them. It still has good targets to hit here, though, especially if he drops a Fen Lurker, and then we can hit it with Legion's End. He has other ones in his hand, or a Knight. Okay, so there's the Knight. So we can hit that Knight with Legion's End. So I'm going to hit the Fen Lurker first, because if he plays it, it has an instant effect as opposed to... Okay, so I didn't hit anything. We're going to attack. And I'm going to drop the Fen Lurker because I want to hit his hand. He'll probably drop this, but... Okay. Okay, so his devotion will be 2. Okay. I'm hitting that now because I don't want him to be able to sacrifice next turn if he's able to. Okay, all right, that's fine. We're gonna hit his hand. He finds his land. can get the spawn down. Get some aggression going. Hopefully he just keeps bricking out. Now he can kill the spawn. I would imagine he's going to want to do that. Maybe after I take damage. Okay. Hopefully I can get a land for Rankle. Need to hit 2 lands in a row. And I don't. IR down. All right. So that's not to attack. Okay. So we're going to use Rankle to sacrifice a creature. Because that will turn him back. Do all 3. Get rid of the underworld. I need a land for Gary. Okay, perfect. Sacrifice the Fen Lurker. Turns Erebos back. I'm taking damage from that, but that's okay. He pays life for that. That's insane. Maybe he's just looking for Gary right now. Because that's a big swing for him. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop the land here. Even though I really need it to even play this card. I'm just going to take it. So Gary, land, perfect. For the win? Yes! Nice. Perfect. Alright. Okay, so this isn't great. We don't really have a lot going on, but we have the lands to get up there. We have IR, Underworld of Dreams to start generating stuff. If we can draw into Spawn, Rankle, Gary, we should be okay. I guess I should have flashed that in. I would just basically want, right now, just want this down. Maybe it'll help me scry later, but I want it down for the devotion. So we're gonna just IR it into Rankle. So at least he taps himself out for that. So, okay. One cool thing about Underworld Dreams, it kind of shuts down. It shuts down all of the life gain from Crisis, which is, I'm assuming, oh no, Nissa. All right, from Crisis, which is definitely important when you're playing an aggro deck. See if he has another creature to drop. If not, okay. So obviously a big crisis would be bad, but if, okay, With this down, at least he doesn't gain his life back. We're not going to be able to kill Nissa. We'll use the Murder Strider for that. So we're just going to have to race. And hope we draw Gary. So this actually does 2 damage to him because I have this down. And we're going to discard because I don't need that last swamp. So now if we get a second Underworld down and he decides to do a Krasis, he actually loses life. I would assume he's going to Krasis now. Hopefully he doesn't take into consideration that he's not going to gain any life out of this. A lot of times you can tell he'll forget. Now he will still get a lot of cards, so if he's smart, he'll leave mana open. If he's greedy, he's just going to have a giant Krasis that I can kill. Okay, so he does leave mana open. Machine gun. Alright, so he leaves mana open. I'm assuming for a counter. Okay, so that is Summoning Sickness. So if he has a counter... Alright, so if he has a counter, I win. Or I lose. If he doesn't, I win. In Gary we trust. What's he likely to have? A Quench? Perfect. Got him. In Gary we trust. Alright, so... Okay. So, Noxious Grasp. Elder Spell deals with Nissa. Bantu restocks. Take out the Omens. We'll go like this. We'll just try it with just the Noxious Grasps in there that we can hold open to kill Nissa. I don't know if Elder Spell is really necessary. If Nissa is really the only Planeswalker he's running, so. Well, I guess we keep it. It's not that really aggressive, but we're on the draw anyways. Okay. We're just gonna rankle into Gary. Does that mean blue mana? Okay, so we get a little bit of a respite. Alright, so Iara They are into rank 1 to Gary, so I mean that's a 7 damage Gary if they all survive. And he's just putting down Love Struck Beasts, which isn't great, but I'm helping him a little bit by drawing, but Gray Merchant's gonna swing life back into our favor, and I probably will just win with 2 Gray Merchants in a row. He has a lot of green mana, but he doesn't have any blue mana. In Gary, this card is pretty broken. And this is why. Just like that, we're at 17. Discard the swamp. He's down to 2. Noxious Grasp. So I mean, at this point, I'll block. I don't really necessarily need to though, so we'll see what he does. If I don't block, Gary's 9. Block 1 out. So he has to deal with rank or he loses. Okay, that's not enough. We take down blue-green X, which is a good indicator of whether a deck is good or not. So Gary for the win again. And that's game. All right, so as you can see, this deck is extremely powerful. In the mirror, I like having the I like the spawn of Mayhem in this deck. I put this together after the first day of the new set and ran into a lot of mirror matches that day. A lot of people were doing this. Everybody wanted to play with Gary, so it performed very well the first day. Against some of the more control-y builds, it can still struggle, especially if you don't hit your early plays because there's a lot of top end. But I like it. I hate playing with the cat, so this is a good alternative to playing with the cat, and it's a little bit more aggressive or mid-rangey once you get up at like 4 or 5 mana. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck, and I'll see you next time.